Hey guys, Vishnu here, and today I'm talking about DPI. DPI is really interesting because it is how a mouse perceives the pixels, and no, not an actual mouse but a computer mouse. So today I will be explaining how DPI works. Modern mice contain a light, usually a red one, and a little camera. As you move the mouse around, the light shines on the surface below and the camera takes hundreds of pictures per second. The mouse compares the pictures and determines the direction you are moving it. The mouse then sends this movement data to your computer as mouse input through the USB port, and the computer moves the cursor across the screen. Laser mice function similarly but use an infrared light instead of a visible light. Dots per inch or DPI is a measurement of how sensitive a mouse is. The higher a mouse's DPI, the farther the cursor on your screen will move when you move the mouse. A mouse with a higher DPI setting detects and reacts to smaller movements. A higher DPI isn't always better. You definitely do not want your mouse cursor to fly all the way across the screen when you move your mouse a little bit. On the other hand, a higher DPI setting helps your mouse detect and respond to smaller movements. For example, let's say you are playing a first-person shooter game or even doing some photo editing work. When you are zooming in and trying to aim precisely, a high DPI could be valuable and allow you to aim smoothly with smaller mouse movements. You can also see why more sensitive mice are attractive to designers that need to make minute adjustments in their designs. DPI is different from the typical mouse sensitivity setting. DPI refers to a mouse's hardware capabilities, while sensitivity is just a software setting. For example, let's say you have an inexpensive mouse with low DPI and you crank up the sensitivity. If you try to aim it at small targets, you will see the mouse cursor jump around as you move it. The mouse hardware isn't as sensitive, so it doesn't detect the smaller movements. Your operating system just compensates by moving your cursor further away when it detects a movement, so the movement isn't always as smooth. A higher DPI mouse can also be paired with a low sensitivity setting, so the cursor won't fly across the screen when you move it, but the movement will still stay smooth. Higher DPI mice are more useful if you have a higher resolution monitor. If you are playing a game on a low resolution 1366 by 768 or a 720p laptop screen, you don't necessarily need that high DPI. On the other hand, if you are playing a game on a 4K monitor, a higher DPI lets you move your mouse cursor across the screen smoothly without having to drag your mouse across the entire desk. The second important thing in a mouse is its polling rate. A mouse's polling rate is how often it reports its position to a computer. Polling rate is measured in hertz. If a mouse has a 125 hertz polling rate, it means its position is being reported to the computer 125 times every second or every 8 milliseconds. A 500 Hz rate means that the mouse is reporting its position to the computer every 2 milliseconds. A higher polling rate can decrease the lag that occurs between when you move your mouse and when the movement shows up on your screen. On the other hand, a higher polling rate will also use more CPU resources as the processor has to query the mouse for its position more often. The problem with polling rate though is as it tends to go higher, there is less difference in the perception of its smoothness. This is called the law of diminishing returns. If you are a casual PC user, a general polling rate of about 125 to 250 Hz is enough for you. If you can afford anything above that or you need it, then a general rule of thumb is that 500 Hz to 1000 Hz is the limit. Anything above that is pointless as the difference in visual perception is almost next to nothing. Anyways, that's it for this one. I hope you liked it. Catch you guys in the next one. Bye.